な転生。
Yeah. So, in this video, I'm going to be bringing you my top 3 ways, but I would say it's the top 3 ways anyways, to get Chrono Crystals through grinding, straight earning, no purchasing, no buying, for free to play players, because the way it's looking right now, it's a bit sticky. It's looking like Rose and legendary finish Vegeta with the bait. That's tough, but we got Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta coming out, and we've also seen from the Goku Super Saiyan 4 Goku gameplay, we got Baby also coming, so it's just nuts. But I've got these requests here. This is a video request. I'm going to be going through my top 3 ways, but I also think that the top 3 ways in the game to earn Chrono Crystals, so I'm going to be going through that. Hopefully you stick around, you learn something. If you already know these methods, don't be hating. It's for the people that wanted the answers, so I'm giving them. But I do look to make a longer video in the future about this, because I feel like just having 3 ways isn't convenient, especially if you run out. Like, you're gonna need more methods. But in the game there are it's limited. Like, you can't just reach for chronos and grab them everywhere you can. So I'm just gonna be going through these, and hopefully I help you out. But let's get to it. Alright, so my go-to way, this is the one I prioritize because it's the easiest. Like, literally, if you need chronos just like that, it's the best way, in my opinion anyway. But I feel like you get more chronos than you expect, and when you just rack them up, you'll be confused. Like, what? But the first way is by soul boosting. Now you're probably thinking, what? If you haven't done it before, you're probably confused. But if you don't know, for every 100 panels of for the soul boost that you do, you actually get 10 chronos from the missions. So as you see here, I went to my character list, I rearranged it so it's by the panels, but you can also do it by whatever you like, depending on how many characters you soul boost. I soul boost a lot of my characters, so I changed it to that so I can see who has been and hasn't been soul boosted. And especially considering the new update of how there's the new godly panel, and you can actually get to, I think it's 700%. You should actually like look at which one needs soul boosted more or less. But I also tend to prioritize characters that I would actually use. So I start with Sparkins, but depending on what souls you have in Super Souls, because it's not a free method, but considering pretty much every event and all the story brings you all these souls, and you rack up souls just by playing, it makes sense for you to do soul boosting because you'd actually have souls that are left over. So say if you're missing the new 7-star souls, then I suggest you go to like your heroes or extremes and then soul boost them, because they probably haven't been soul boosted, because chances are you're not using them. Like, come on, like, people just use Sparkins, and on the odd occasion that you are using your extremes, it would be the same recycled ones. So well, just for me anyways, I don't really use my extremes or heroes at all unless I need to, maybe in like Ultra Space Time Rush, but even then that was before the update. Now it goes to level 5000. You would never catch me using a hero unless like a story mission requires it, or like I think for the Rising battle it locks you in and it says free heroes only. Maybe a battle royale set specific stats, because I think at one point they had 3 extremes characters only. So, but literally just soul boost all your characters and you will be surprised on how fast literally you rack up these Chrono Crystals. You could do about 10 characters, but considering you do all their panels, I don't know exactly how many panels there are, because now there's the auto select. Before there wasn't auto select, but I was still doing it. But you'll see how many soul panels that I've done already. I've done loads, literally in the tens of thousands. But you'll see like literally 10 characters and you do all their panels, you're just gonna be pressing 10, 10, 10, 10. Literally you'll have 100 chronos in seconds. And imagine you haven't done any of your extremes, any of your heroes, and they all have 7 pages of soul boosting to do, and you just have all these souls sitting around. You're just gonna go through all of them and just collect all of these chronos, literally 10, 10, 10, 10. You'll get to 1000 in no time. literally. Like, I'm on 79,000, which is shown on the screen right now. But say if I hadn't ever soul boosted any of my extremes or heroes, I'd probably be at like 10,000 or maybe slightly above that. I don't know, depending on how many characters are. Like my Sparkins, there's a lot of Sparkins, so I'm not gonna say like 10,000, maybe more than that. But literally, I could get 4k chronos probably through all my heroes and extremes. This method, please do it. Like, you'll be like summoning for days. You'll probably, I can't guarantee you, because you know this game's weird. Like, it likes to shaft people. But yeah, that's that on that. The next method I recommend is literally the story. Now, this might be obvious, but for you guys that are not up to date, literally, you can just sprint through the story mode. You don't even have to do the challenges, but the challenges is what gets you Chrono Crystals. So what I tend to do, I tend to try run it, just complete it with as many challenges as I can in one go. But I wouldn't just go for the spares after that. I just move on to the next one, then I'd go again, but just complete those simple ones, because the story mode is really easy. It's just playing through it that's kind of a hassle. But here I'm going to bring up the calculator just for you guys, because the chronos you can get are insane. You saw the challenges there. One was like 700, one was like 900, and if you just times that by 3, it's roughly about, excluding the bottom one, because the bottom one's them medals that you get from PvP. But excluding that one, literally, if you just play story, quick multiplication there, easy 2k chronos, easy 3k chronos, 1000 plus. Just keep doing all the story. You'll be getting 3 chronos per challenge, I believe. And I believe at some stages there were 10, but don't quote me on that. But pretty easy to get chronos through story. Like, some people just leave it because they don't feel it's necessary. The only time they play is when they see like there's a Charlotte mission that says like something like 1000 chronos for unlocking Charlotte Super Saiyan 1 and 2. Like, I think that was a challenge in the missions. So make sure not to skip out on those, because those will get you easy chronos, literally. And just having Charlotte high level, the game really rewards you for that, because the game is really built around Charlotte. Like, besides from PvP and the events, the story, which is what the game is, carrying the game basically, the advertisements, you see Charlotte everywhere. So leveling up Charlotte while actually doing story, you get chronos for doing both. Like, it would just benefit you in both ways. But that's the second method I recommend. Now, the next way and the final way for this video is by playing PvP. Now, at the end of every PvP season, they reward the top 10,000 players in the whole season. And it isn't very hard to get into the top 10,000 players if you're an average player. But the reason I recommend this one is because actually playing PvP will actually improve your skills in the game. And if you're bad at the game, you're just going to get better results all around. The game will become easier. Events will become easier, because there's some ridiculous events that they've been doing, like that Battle 51 for the Goku Black before the big update with the 5000 and the new soul boosting and Zenkai Awakening and whatnot. But if you're bad at the game, everything all around will come to you easier. But in terms of chronos, they reward 1000 chronos to all the players that are top 10,000, but 1500 to the number 1 player. Now, being realistic, chances are you're not even going to go for the number 1 player. Like, that extra 500 chronos, personally, I don't think it's worth it, unless you just want that title of being the number 1 player for that season. But personally, I don't have the time for it regardless, and I don't think it's worth it as well. So I wouldn't go for the number 1 player. However, just being top 10,000 in the world will literally get you 1000 chronos for free. And sometimes they do a rotation, and literally it would be 2000 chronos just for being top 10k. And top 10k, like I said, isn't very hard, because people tend to get lazy after they get to rank 50. But literally playing an extra 10 matches after rank 50, assuming that you win them, will actually bring you to the top 10k confirmed. Like, you don't even have to play after that, because your spot is assured within the top 10k. So if you do that, easy 1k, on occasion 2000 at the end of the season, and that happens every 2 weeks. So just play through that. Literally, you'll be good. But yeah, that quickly brings me to the end of the video. Wasn't that quick, it's about 10 minutes. I just went in depth explaining each of the 3 things. But like I said at the beginning of this video, these aren't the only ways you can earn chronos. and it's also my opinion. And also, if you know all of these, that's good for you. But this is a video request, so I just thought I'd make the video for people that don't know. But besides from that, I'm on this grind trying to get 500 subscribers by the end of the year. We got about 15 days till the end of the year, the end of the month. I'm on 475 subscribers, so I need 25, and that's about 2 a day practically. But if you enjoyed the video, press the subscribe button. If you have anything you want to know, leave a comment below. But besides from that, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.